I got the call, I think, about 3 a.m. is when I actually got the call. I think Almon was there ahead of me. It was just hard to imagine. Of course, when I got there were so many units, there, red lights, blue lights, and trying to figure out what was going on. And the fire was still raging pretty good. It's hard to describe at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's just something you don't want to drive up on and have to see again.
Getting called out to a scene like that there's no way to prepare for it. When I arrived, the first responding deputy, Charles Dickerson, was there, and the ambulance was there, and they had just loaded Mr. Cathy in the ambulance when I arrived, so I was able to talk to him before he was able to leave the scene. And what he told me in the brief instances that we talked was just absolutely horrifying. That the rest of his family was in the house, and the house was fully engulfed in flames. So, but he was able to identify one of the shooters, and it was just processing and what steps do we need to take and who do we need to call, and it just 15 things going at one time, and it was just a day you'll never forget.
I just can't believe that some young kids could pull that off and do what they did to a family. It's just one of them things you hope you never see or hear of again. But and it's, like I say, 29 years, that's the worst one that I've seen or been involved in.
I would agree with that. It was the scope of violence that you just don't expect that in a small rural community like this. Like Sheriff said, it's something you never forget. It's with us every day. It's there. You drive that part of the county, you drive down that county road, it's always there, it's fresh, and it'll always be that way.
I feel good that I think justice was done. I don't think putting them to the death sentence, that's to me, that's just a way out right now. I think they're having to live it day by day with themselves right now. So I think justice was done, and I'm pleased with the outcome. I hate that the family's not here with us anymore, but there's so much tragedy that goes on in this world that we just have to live it by day. I would like to say one thing, and I think Mr. Almon would kind of agree with me, that even through the court proceedings and to this day, I'm not sure that any of the kids has got any remorse in this right now. They never showed it in the courtroom. It's just like they was there, and it's just, I don't know if they'll ever accept it. I wish the daughter would come forward, and I guess kind of take her blame for it. But like I say, I just don't think that she'll ever admit to her guilt part of it, really, that strong, that she wishes it never happened. I don't know. It was a tragic, like I say, nothing has ever happened like that in this county before, and I hope it never happens again.